Welcome coin lovers. Today, we're diving into the super rare top 6 Lincoln pennies that every collector dreams of owning. From the classic 1950 D wheat penny and the legendary 1943 steel penny, to the elusive 1964 D special mint set and the unique 2009 Lincoln penny, these coins aren't just change, they're history you can hold in your hand. Ready to discover what makes these pennies so special? Let's get started. The 1964 D SMS Lincoln cent is one of the rarest and most talked about pennies in the coin world. SMS stands for Special Mint Set, which is a type of coin set that looks better than normal coins but not quite as fancy as proof coins. These coins usually have a sharp strike, smooth surfaces, and a satin-like finish. But here's the strange thing, no official SMS sets were supposed to be made in 1964. In 1964, the U.S. Mint was very busy making coins for circulation. There was a coin shortage, so the Mint focused on making lots of regular coins for people to use in daily life. At the time, they were not making special sets. The U.S. had made proof sets from 1950 to 1964 and then switched to special mint sets starting in 1965. So, technically, there should not be any SMS coins dated 1964, but a few of them somehow exist. Only a very small number of 1964 SMS Lincoln cents are known. Experts believe fewer than 20 exist. Some say only 6 have been confirmed. These coins were not made for the public and were probably created for testing or as a private project at the Mint. Now, about the D Mint mark, this is where things get confusing. Most known 1964 SMS cents do not have a mint mark, which means they were struck in Philadelphia. But there have been rumors and unconfirmed reports of a 1964 D SMS Lincoln cent. The D would mean it was struck at the Denver Mint. As of now, no officially confirmed 1964 D SMS Lincoln cent has been verified by major grading services like PCGS or NGC. So if someone says they have one, it might either be a regular 1964 D cent that looks a little shinier than normal, or it could be something incredibly rare, but it would need to be studied very closely. So how do you tell if your 1964 cent is one of these rare SMS coins? These special coins have a very unique look. They have sharp, strong details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the lettering. Smooth, satin-like surfaces without the mirror shine of a proof coin. No contact marks or scratches, like they were carefully handled. A very even color and tone across the whole coin. If you think you might have a real 1964 SMS penny, with or without a D, it's important to get it checked by a professional. You can send it to grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They are the best at identifying rare coins like this. If real, a 1964 SMS Lincoln cent is extremely valuable. In high grades, these coins have sold for over $10,000 at auction. One example graded SP68 by PCGS sold for nearly $30,000. But remember, these are not regular pennies. Most 1964 and 1964 D pennies are common and only worth face value unless they are in perfect condition or have errors. So if you find a 1964 D penny that looks shiny or special, don't get too excited just yet, but don't ignore it either. Compare it to other pennies, check the details, and maybe show it to a coin dealer or collector who knows what to look for. Just in case, because you never know. The 1943 steel penny is one of the most famous and interesting coins in U.S. history. Most pennies are brown or red because they're made of copper. But in 1943, something changed. That year, the U.S. made pennies out of steel coated with zinc, so they look silver or gray instead of copper. If you see a shiny silver penny with the date 1943, it's likely one of these special steel cents. So why did the Mint use steel in 1943? The reason was World War II. During the war, the U.S. military needed a lot of copper to make bullets, wires, and other war supplies. To save copper, the U.S. Mint decided to make pennies using steel instead. They coated them with zinc to stop them from rusting. These steel pennies were made for just 1 year. In 1943, the U.S. Mint made over 1 billion steel pennies. That's a lot. So most 1943 steel cents are not rare. You can still find them today in old jars, coin shops, or collections. If the coin is old, rusty, or worn out, it's usually worth around 10 to 50 cents. But if your steel penny is in really good shape, clean, shiny, and has no scratches, it could be worth $1 to $5 or more. The best-looking ones, called mint state coins, can be worth $10 to $30, and even higher if they're graded by a professional. There were 3 types of 1943 steel pennies made, depending on where they were struck. If your coin has no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. If it has a small D under the date, it was made in Denver. If it has an S, it was made in San Francisco. All 3 types are common, but the ones from San Francisco and Denver are usually worth a bit more, especially in high grade. But now, here's where things get really exciting. There are a few super rare 1943 pennies that were made by mistake. They were struck on copper planchets instead of steel ones. That means they look like a regular copper penny, even though they were made in 1943. These are called 1943 copper pennies, and they are some of the most valuable coins in the world. Only a few of them exist. If you find a 1943 penny that looks brown or red like a normal copper coin, check it carefully. It could be one of those rare mistakes. Be careful though, some people have taken steel pennies and coated them with copper to fool others. You can test your coin with a magnet. A real 1943 steel penny will stick to a magnet. A copper one won't. If you think you have a real 1943 copper penny, get it checked by a professional right away. It could be worth $100,000 or more. So, what should you look for? Check the date. Does it say 1943? Is it silver or gray in color? Does it stick to a magnet? Is there a D or S mint mark under the date? Is the coin rusty, or is it still clean and shiny? Even though most 1943 steel pennies are common, they're still fun to collect. They are a cool part of American history and a reminder of how even coins were affected by the war. Many people start their coin collecting journey with this penny. Hey everyone! Today I want to talk to you about a very special penny. It's from the year 2009, and believe it or not, some of these pennies are worth a lot of money. I'm not talking about $10 or $50. I'm talking about $25,000, $43,000, or even $78,000 for just one penny. Yes, really. So stay with me until the end because you might have one of these rare coins in your home right now. In 2009, the U.S. Mint made some new designs for the penny. This was to celebrate 200 years since Abraham Lincoln was born. Also, it was 100 years since the Lincoln penny was first made. Instead of one normal penny, they made 4 different designs. Each one shows a different part of Lincoln's life. One design shows the log cabin where he was born. Another one shows him reading a book while sitting on a log. A third shows him working as a lawyer. The last one shows the U.S. Capitol during his time as president. These 4 pennies are known as the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cents. Most of them are worth just 1 cent, but a few are super rare. The rarest one is the penny that shows Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book. This one is called the formative years design. Some of these coins were made with a mistake, a rare error called a double die. That means parts of the design were stamped twice by accident. If you look closely at Lincoln's hands and the book, you might see extra fingers or lines. That's the sign of a double die, and that's where the money is. Collectors love these error coins because they are so rare. If the coin is in great condition, with no scratches and still shiny, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Some of these coins have been sold for $25,000, $43,000, and one even went for over $78,000. All for a single penny. It sounds crazy, but it's true. Now you might be thinking, how do I know if I have one? It's easy to check. Look through your change or old coin jars. Find a 2009 penny with the design of Lincoln sitting on a log. Then, look closely at his hands and the book. You can use a magnifying glass or even your phone camera. If you see anything strange, like extra fingers or double lines, don't spend it. That could be the rare double-die penny. If you think you found one, the next step is to send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will check the coin and tell you its condition and value. If it's real and in mint state, you could be sitting on thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. This is why people all over the country are checking their 2009 pennies right now. Even if you don't find the rare one, these 2009 pennies are still fun to collect. They tell a story about Abraham Lincoln's life, from the time he was born to when he became president. But if you do find that rare error coin, you might just have a treasure in your hand. So go check your coins. Ask your family, search your drawers, and look through old jars. That one little penny could change your life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Who knows? You might be the next person to find a penny worth $78,000. If you find a penny with the date 1976 and a small d under the date, that means you have a 1976 D Lincoln cent. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which is where the coin was made. This is a common 1-cent coin from the United States, and many people still have them in their jars, drawers, or old piggy banks. This coin shows a picture of Abraham Lincoln on the front, just like today's penny. The design has been the same since 1909, which is the year Lincoln pennies were first made. On the front of the coin, it says, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty," on the left, and the year, 1976, with the D mint mark just below it on the right. On the back, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, with the words, "United States of America," above it, 1 cent, at the bottom, and "E Pluribus Unum," in small letters above the building. The 1976 D penny is made of copper and zinc. More exactly, it is about 95% copper and 5% zinc. These pennies were made before the U.S. Mint changed to a cheaper metal in 1982. So they feel a little heavier than modern pennies. The Denver Mint made over 4.2 billion of these coins in 1976. That's a huge number, so these coins are very common. Most 1976 D pennies are only worth 1 cent if they are old, scratched, or worn out. But if your 1976 D penny is in really nice shape, like shiny, clean, and with no damage, it could be worth a little more. Coin collectors like coins that are in mint state condition. That means they look almost new, like they just came from the mint. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin that grades 65 or higher is worth more than average. A 1976 D penny in mint state could be worth between 10 cents and maybe $1 or $2, depending on how nice it looks. If the color is still red and bright, and there are no marks or scratches, collectors may pay a bit more for it. Some pennies from 1976 also have mint errors. These are special because something went wrong while the coin was being made. Examples of errors include off-center strikes, double dies, or coins that were struck on the wrong type of metal. These kinds of mistakes are rare, but if you find one, the coin could be worth much more, sometimes even $50, $100, or more depending on the type of error. One known error on the 1976 D penny is the BIE die break. This is a small raised line between the letters B and E in the word liberty. It looks like an extra I. It's not super rare, but it's fun to find and worth a bit more than a regular penny. If you think your coin is in great shape or might have an error, you can take it to a coin shop or show it to a coin dealer. There are also grading companies like PCGS or NGC that can check the coin and give it a grade. They can tell you exactly how much it's worth. Even though most 1976 D pennies are not valuable, they are still fun to collect. They are part of U.S. history and many people enjoy building sets of Lincoln pennies from every year and mint. So before you spend that 1976 D penny, take a second look. It might be just 1 cent, or it might be something special. Did you find a penny with the date 1950 and a little D under it? That might be a 1950 D-wheat penny. And guess what? It could be worth more than just 1 cent. This penny was made in the United States in 1950. The D means it was made at the Denver Mint. The design on the back has 2 wheat stalks on each side, which is why people call it a wheat penny. These wheat pennies were made from 1909 to 1958. On the front, you'll see a picture of Abraham Lincoln, just like modern pennies. On the back, it says, 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. It's a simple but classic design. This coin is made of 95% copper, with just a little bit of tin and zinc. That's why older pennies feel heavier than today's coins. In 1950, the Denver Mint made about 334 million of these coins. That's a lot, so most 1950 D-wheat pennies are not rare. If your coin is old and worn out, it's probably worth only about 2 to 10 cents. But don't give up just yet. Some 1950 D pennies are in much better shape. If your coin still looks shiny, has no scratches, and the details are clear, it could be worth more. Collectors look for coins like this. They call them mint state coins. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A grade of 70 means the coin is perfect. A 1950 D penny with a grade of 65 or higher can be worth $5 to $15. If your coin is even better, for example, with full red color and a grade of MS 67, it might be worth $100 or more. But wait, there's more. Some pennies have mistakes on them. These are called error coins. An error might happen if the coin is struck off-center or if the design is doubled. There's also something called a repunched mint mark. That's when the D was stamped more than once by mistake. These error coins can be worth a lot more, even hundreds of dollars. So what should you look for? First, check for the D under the date. That shows it was made in Denver. Next, look at the coin's condition. Is it shiny? Can you see the details on Lincoln's face and coat? Are the letters and numbers clear? If yes, that's a good sign. Also, check for anything strange, like a second D that looks like it was stamped again, or any doubling in the letters. These could be rare errors that collectors love to find. If you think you have a good one, you can take it to a coin shop or a collector for a closer look. There are also coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you the exact grade and help you know what it's really worth. Even though most 1950 D wheat pennies are common, they are still fun to collect. Many people try to collect all the wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958. It's like a little piece of history in your hand. You never know what you'll find in an old jar, drawer, or piggy bank. So before you spend that penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a tiny treasure. If you find a penny with the date 1972 and no letter under the date, you might be holding a 1972 Lincoln cent from the Philadelphia Mint. The front shows a picture of Abraham Lincoln. It also says, "In God We Trust," at the top, Liberty on the left side, and the year, 1972, on the right. Unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, pennies made in Philadelphia during this time don't have a mint mark. That's normal. On the back of the coin, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial Building. It says, United States of America, across the top, E pluribus unum, in small letters above the building, and 1 cent at the bottom. This design was used from 1959 to 2008. The 1972 penny is made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. It feels a little heavier than newer pennies made after 1982, which use mostly zinc. In 1972, the U.S. Mint made over 2.9 billion pennies in Philadelphia, so this coin is very common. Most 1972 pennies you find in pocket change today are worth only face value, just 1 cent. But if your 1972 penny is in great shape, it could be worth more. If it looks shiny and has no scratches or marks, it might be in what collectors call mint state condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and a high grade means a better looking coin. A 1972 Lincoln penny with a grade of MS 65 or higher can be worth anywhere from 10 cents to $1 or more. Coins with a bright red color and no damage are worth the most. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1972, there was a famous error made at the Philadelphia Mint. It's called the 1972 double die obverse. That means the front of the coin was stamped twice by mistake, making some parts look like they have shadows or double letters. If you look closely at the words, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1972, and they all look doubled or blurry, you might have one of these rare error coins. The doubling is easiest to see in the word, Liberty. This is not a small or tiny error, it's clear and easy to notice without a magnifying glass. If you have a real 1972 double die penny in good shape, it can be worth a lot. Even in worn condition, it might be worth $100 or more. In top condition, it could sell for several $100s or even over $1,000 to the right collector. There are also other, less valuable double dies from 1972, called minor varieties. They don't show as much doubling, but they're still fun to look for. Collectors often look through rolls of pennies just to find one of these special coins. You might find one in a coin jar or from pocket change if you're lucky. If you think you found a 1972 double die, or your coin looks extra clean and shiny, you can take it to a local coin shop or send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm if it's real and tell you how much it's worth. Even though most 1972 pennies are not rare or valuable, they are still a great part of U.S. coin history. Lincoln cents have been around for over 100 years, and collecting them is a fun hobby for people of all ages. So before you spend that 1972 penny, take a good look at it. You might have a common coin, or you might have something special hiding in plain sight. You never know, one little penny could turn into a cool discovery or even a valuable treasure.